Hey guys, welcome back. Timber2 here today with another Helldivers 2 video. Today, giving an in-depth sort of review, and we're going to use the tier list format because I feel like people kind of connect with that pretty easily. And there are only 4, but we're going over the new weapons from the Cutting Edge Warbond and kind of a overall review of the whole Warbond itself. This is of course the new free sort of battle pass that has been added to Helldivers 2. Now I say free, though it is a premium pass, but can be earned for free by playing the game. If you play the game, you already know that. But for 1,000 super credits, you can get the Cutting Edge Warbond. It comes with 4 new weapons that you can slowly unlock on there. I've gone through the time to get all of them for you as quickly as we could here, so that I could place them on a tier list and give you sort of a quick review on each of the 4 weapons. Now starting with the very first one, the Laz 16 Sickle. This is going to be the first one you're able to get your hands on the pass, and believe it or not is one of the best, if not the best, on the pass, as well as one of the top weapons in the game now as far as primary weapons go. This is an energy-based assault rifle that more often than not has near infinite ammo because you never really actually need to reload it if you're using it correctly. As long as you don't overheat it, you never need to reload, and even when you do, you get so many backup energy cells with this thing. 6 times you would have to overheat and reload, and then of course you're going to be needing to get more syringes every now and then anyway, so you're going to get, or finding ammo on the ground, you're going to never need ammo with this weapon. It is extremely ammo efficient and also very, very solid all around. Good range, good damage, good fire rate, like everything about it is actually really good. It's probably the best like full auto assault rifle in the game in my opinion. It just puts out good damage and has the advantage of never needing ammo and really never even needing to reload. As long as you sort of pause between your bursts, you're not going to overheat, you're not going to use up any ammo, and you're going to always have a reliable assault rifle with you at all times. And you'll find that on the harder difficulties or the more crazy encounters, not needing to worry about ammo at all is actually quite an advantage while playing the game. And that's why for me, the Laz 16 Sickle is actually sitting nicely in the S tier. S for Sickle, right at the top. This is a really good gun. Honestly, if you get it and use it, you're not going to be disappointed. And it's definitely a contender for switching to be like your main primary. You're set on this weapon for now until they add like a better one, until they make a bigger gun. But for now, I don't know if they can make a bigger gun. This thing's massive. But for now, this is a very top contending primary weapon. Now moving on to the next weapon you'll be able to get, which is the SG-8P Punisher Plasma on the second page. This was actually one of the ones I was the most hyped about because the regular Punisher shotgun was previously my main primary weapon. That gun is really good. It does good like stagger. It's very ammo efficient. You never waste ammo because you're putting in 1 shell at a time. And I just really liked the Punisher shotgun. So finding out that there was going to be a plasma version, I was pretty excited. And that's where the positivity ends. This weapon is positively trash. It is abysmally bad. I cannot stand using the Punisher Plasma. I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt. I tried it multiple times, especially for playing solo, which is often what I do. This weapon is horrible. And I mean, even non-solo, you just need people with better weapons around you to kind of support you, because this thing is bad, and you can do team damage with it pretty easily, or self-inflicted damage very often. It doesn't function as a shotgun. It really is like a grenade launcher more than anything, with extremely slow like velocity on the grenade launching travel time, horrible area of effect, horrible damage, and extremely tiny mag size, and it's just super clunky. I didn't even use it enough to really clock in whether it's like 6 or 8, but even worse, this thing is magazine fed. I don't know why it became, from going from the normal Punisher being shell fed to the plasma, now we're suddenly mag fed where like you'll end up wasting ammo. This thing all around is just horrible. Everything about it sucks. I've seen some people try and like gas it up by the fact that it can damage chargers, but I mean, if you're trying to kill a charger with your primary weapon, you're kind of already doing something wrong at that point. So I don't see like the pros do not outweigh the cons at all. This thing is just atrociously bad, extremely clunky, extremely like slow. It does so little damage for like a area of effect grenade launcher. Like you're shooting this hard to hit projectile to begin with such slow travel speed, and then it does no damage. You can use the normal Punisher shotgun and hit like a medium bug or even sometimes the huge bugs, you hit them in the face, it will one hit. You know, their head comes off and they just die after a few seconds. It is a one hit kill gun. Whereas the plasma, you have to hit the same bug like 3 times with a much harder arcing like grenade launcher shot, and you have to hit them dead on in the face 2 to 3 times to actually kill them. Whereas the shotgun, normally you can just aim it right at them, shoot them in the head, and they're dead. So like, why would you ever use this thing? And it doesn't even work well for clearing like small ads, because again, you shouldn't need to be using a like grenade launcher primary just to kill, you know, the little bugs. Those aren't really a priority, and that's why this thing, for me, honestly, I'm gonna put it in D, but it probably belongs in F. But the only reason it's not is because there is a worse gun on the list here today, and because the charger thing, some people do like this thing. But in all honesty, it's really bad. You're gonna blow yourself up and die so many times too, because as soon as you get any of the jumpy boys jumping right in your face, you're gonna explode and you're gonna die. And even when you're not, it's just so unrewarding with the extremely low damage output. Now the Laz 7 dagger, moving on. This is the 3rd page and final page in the pass. The second last gun you're going to be able to get is the Laz 7 dagger secondary pistol, and as the name implies, it is a laser energy based weapon. Now this is pretty interesting because we don't have an energy based secondary, we don't have like a laser gun as a secondary until now. And again, I was excited for this one. It is atrocious. Lasers in general across the board in this game all need a pretty big buff. They just do not do enough damage for the lack of mobility that they cause, and for just like the amount of time you need to be pinpoint with a beam and you're kind of just standing still or like slow walking in that time. It's just not worth it at all. And on top of that, this thing has such abysmally low damage output that even one-handed, like running away, trying to do the best you can to shoot this thing, you need to, and this is on a cold planet. The footage you're watching is on a cold planet, meaning that energy weapons overheat much slower, so they're much better on cold planets. This thing was still horrible. It does such low damage that you need to hit pretty much the entire cell's beam directly in the face of like a medium-sized bug just to kill it. Even the little bugs, you need to hold the beam on them for a like decent amount of time for them to actually die. This thing just does not do damage, and when you could be using the machine pistol SMG, you know, P19 secondary instead, that thing is better than most guns in the entire game. That thing puts out more damage, better fire rate, better mag size, better mobility, every single metric than pretty much any other gun in the game. Why would you ever use the Laz 7 dagger? This thing sucks. Even just to like be cool and use a laser gun, like it's cool to shoot a laser, but it's not cool when it doesn't kill anything. Every single bug coming at you is just gonna walk right through this, including the tiny ones, and you're basically standing around like a jackass trying to, you know, beam this thing. It has insane range because it's a laser gun, but again, you have to pinpoint hold it right on them and just pretty much stand there like an idiot waiting for them to die, and it's like an entire cell just to kill something. The Laz 7 dagger, especially because of the much better option of the SMG secondary, this thing comes in at F, you know, deep F. This thing sucks. It's horrible. I wouldn't even buy it. Like, honestly, the plasma, you could buy it, see if it sort of suits your vibe, but this thing has no redeeming qualities at all. The Laz 7 dagger sucks. I hope they do like an update that just boosts all the laser guns across the board, because this thing is stinky, very bad, not good. Now moving on to the final weapon, the most intriguing, cool looking, you know, spicy weapon in the whole Cutting Edge Warbond is the Arc 12 blitzer. This is a big boy, you know, shotgun, lightning shotgun, turns you into the Sith Lord himself, and you can just start pumping out these massive waves of like lightning bolts. You look very cool using this thing, but is it that crazy? It kind of is that crazy. It's actually pretty solid. It does really remind me of the original like Punisher slug shotgun, because it has that stun effect where if you hit them with the lightning, you know, a bigger bug or any of the medium ones, really anything trying to close in on you, you hit them with the shotgun blast and it will stun them backwards for a second, and then you can, you know, shoot again, it'll stun them. So it's really good for holding your ground and, you know, pushing back those big mobs. Especially in my uses, the Arc 12 blitzer excels against like medium and large bugs. You're not really going to want to use it against just the smaller little packets of, you know, the tiniest little bugs. because at that point you can just switch to your machine gun secondary, mow those ones down, and then go back to the blitzer for taking out the big ones. But another big standout about this gun is that it has infinite ammo. There's no reloading, there's no overheating, there's nothing. It just has infinite ammo for your entire run, no matter how many things you're shooting, no matter what you're doing. You are never going to need ammo for this gun. It is never going to be a problem at all, because it has a very slow rate of fire, I will say. But again, you don't really need that fast of a rate of fire because of the stun effect. But it has a very slow rate of fire, meaning there's no overheating functionality at all. And it's an energy-based shotgun, so it has infinite ammo. It just does its own thing. You don't have to worry about it. You can be very self-sufficient, very independent using this weapon. And it does really good damage. It's also just cool to see. Like, you straight up are blasting these huge shots of lightning out that will sometimes kind of jump between the enemies. More often than not, it seems to just like pick one big enemy and chunk them with it. But if there are little ones around, it will jump between them. But it doesn't do that much damage once it starts spreading like that. It's mainly, like I said, for taking out the medium and the big enemies. And I want to say this is also another contender for like a new staple primary weapon. You could use this as your go-to gun for like your entirety of the time playing the game. Now I want to say I tested all of these only against the Terminids as of right now. I haven't went on to the bots with any of them, but I do feel like this one would be kind of less valuable against the bots since there's not as many like bigger, medium, heavy sized guys. But keeping in mind that because it is a lightning damage weapon, like a sort of shock damage, it ignores pretty much any armor. Like even the armor-faced bugs, you can just shoot them head on, and eventually they're going to die. It's going to chunk right through that stuff. So keeping that in mind, if it does the same sort of thing against Devastators or, you know, walkers in the automatons, then it's going to be pretty good there. But this is sort of just based all on Terminids at this point in time. And I gotta say, this gun is really, really good. The R12 Blitzer I'm going to throw in at the A. So really, since there's only 4 of them, we're kind of just rating best to worst. And in my opinion, the Sickle is definitely the best, followed by the Blitzer, then the Plasma, and then the Dagger. Now the Sickle coming in at the top for me just because it's going to be your most all-around viable weapon. You're never really going to feel bad using this thing, and you're never really going to be at a disadvantage at any point. It's good for big bugs, good for small bugs, it's great on ammo. Whereas the Blitzer for me comes in a little bit lower at A, just because dealing with the smaller bugs is annoying. It's a little bit slow rate of fire. And there's a decent risk of friendly fire with this thing because it's kind of like the arc thrower where you're just shooting out lightning. But as long as you're safe and careful, it is a very cool factory gun, and you do really just feel like you're shooting out some Sith lightning sometimes. The effect on it looks very cool. But that is about it. This is a look at all the weapons on the Cutting Edge Warbond, my sort of quick review on all of them against the Terminids anyways. And like I said, to get the Cutting Edge Warbond, it's 1,000 super credits, which you can get just by playing the game, or you can purchase either way. If you're wondering how to get those, check out the video at the end. I have like a sort of video I did earlier in the game of hidden little spots that you can find extra super credits for those that don't know. Otherwise, just keep on playing and you'll be getting them as you go. Also, buying the Cutting Edge for 1,000, you do get 300 back on the pass itself, putting the value only at 700. And there is no timer on this, so you don't have to rush or worry about anything like that. Eventually, just by playing the game, if you play enough, you're going to be able to get the Warbond and everything on it for free. So that's pretty cool. That honestly, of the 4 weapons, that 2 of them are actually viable is pretty solid, especially when we've been in sort of a, you know, breaker only state of the game for quite a while now. I was using the Punisher just because I got kind of bored of the breaker, and I kind of like it better, honestly. But these other 2 guns, like I said, the Blitzer and the Sickle, are also very strong in their own regards. So if you haven't had a chance yet, check out the Cutting Edge Warbond. If you already have, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of my placement of the weapons. Maybe you like the Plasma and I'm just crazy. I don't really know. Let me know what you guys think about them against automatons as well. I have heard that the Plasma is good against the automatons because you can kind of like over the walls of their forts, like noob tube them more or less. But again, I just can't really get there with that weapon. Maybe it's just meant for the automatons more than the bugs, because the bugs, you have the problem of them jumping at you and then you blow yourself up. But maybe against bots, Punisher Plasma comes in a little stronger. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know if you enjoyed the video down below or by leaving a like. I really appreciate that. I read all the comments, reply to everything like that. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. New videos every other day. New gaming videos all the time. Helldivers 2 as well as many other games. If you haven't checked out the channel, please do. You'll probably find a cool hidden gem here or there that you never even knew existed. I like to show off a lot of cool games. That's about it though. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.